Good evening, everybody. I hope you're okay. I am fine. So I'm repositioning myself every week with the phone because I'm kind of not used, and I'm checking the laptop to make sure that the live is coming through, and I can't see it. So I'm just hoping to. What I've had this week is a few incidents where I've gone live in my group and it's not appeared. So fingers crossed. So if you show up and I'm speaking, or you hear me say this, please say hi, wave, comment, do something so that I know that somebody's here and you are seeing me. Because obviously, much as I like talking to myself, it's much nicer if somebody's there. So, for those of you that don't know me, because there are loads of new people on my page in the last week or so, and that's awesome, absolutely awesome. And I welcome you to this community, and it's lovely to have you here. So, I'm Mandy Nicholson. I'm on a twizzly chair, so I'm going to annoy you now because I'm going to be twizzling around. Mandy Nicholson, and I am a creative genius consultant, and I help innovative female entrepreneurs to launch or develop their successful Gina, hi, thanks for saying hi, to launch or develop their successful creative business and make more money. I'm all about creative women making more money. And I've got the painting stuck behind me because I've rejigged my office. I don't know whether you can see. Look at my new artist desk. I have to tell you about this. I had an awesome find at the weekend. My husband had been into a place near us called Anything Goes, and they buy house clearances. And he'd been in and he said, "Oh, Mandy, they've got a load of art equipment in there," and he's trying to get rid of it for a couple of £100. So I said, "Oh, 200 quid for somebody else's old art equipment? I don't know. I'll go along and have a look." So I trotted off on Saturday to go and have a look at this haul of art equipment. And honestly, I looked at it and it was filthy. It had obviously been in somebody's studio or garage for a long, long time. And I knew it was going to take me about 5 or 6 hours to clean it up. So I had a look through it all and realised the value of what was there and said, "Look, yeah, you're probably bang on at 200 quid, but you're going to struggle to find somebody who wants to spend 5 hours cleaning this up. So I'll give you 100 for it." So they gave it me for 100. Honestly, there must have been 500 quid's worth of paints in there, 4 easels. I've got that fantastic hardwood artist desk and about 150 brushes. Honestly, bargain. But they just wanted to get rid of it. So yes, I spent 5 hours on Saturday cleaning all of the art stuff up, but it doesn't matter. I'm happy. I'm a happy woman when I'm buying art equipment. Anyway, the painting behind me is called Hope is the Key. And this is a painting I'm currently doing about women who have been victims of domestic violence. And I'm trying to show a very dark side and a very light side to this painting. There's still a lot to do. It's a work in progress, but I've left it there so you can see each week the progress of the painting because that's part of who I am. And I like to share that with you. However, tonight's live I've called Creative Women Are Poor. Let's stop that now. And that's how it's got to be said. Let's stop that now. I am really passionate about helping creative women to become wealthy creative women because it's possible. It's just not something that you are taught when you toodle off and do your creative degree or your creative learning courses, and certainly not if you are just creative without the academic qualifications behind you, because many people go into a creative business because they're good at something, not necessarily because they've been taught at university or in advanced learning. So they go into doing it because they love it, because it comes from them, it gives them peace, makes them happy. But they don't necessarily know how to be an entrepreneur. And those two things are very, very different. So I shared some statistics yesterday that of creative women, approximately 25% actually earn their worth. It's a very small amount. If you think about lawyers, solicitors, and how many people in that industry don't earn their worth that are women, it's a very small percentage, very minuscule percentage compared to Yeah, the creative community, they generally all get a reasonable salary or earn good money for being a solicitor or a lawyer. Whereas creative women, 75% of us do not earn our worth. Why is that? Why is it that in creativity there's always this huge gap around wealth? And it's highly likely because, and these are the reasons I stated on my post yesterday. So I'm looking at my notes. There they go. Because I can't remember everything, especially when it comes to statistics. I can tell you which colours I've used on a painting, but not the numbers. I know the numbers in my business though. So it's highly likely that the 75% of women who are not earning the worth are dumbing down their creative insights. Because creativity isn't just about the act of creating, it's also about the thought process of creating. And creative women that are not earning their worth are usually dumbing down what they do to be less important than a lawyer. They're not maximising their creative intelligence, because guess what? To be a creative, hi Camilla, to be a creative, you've got to be quite smart. Ladies, if you're creative, you're smart. I know you are. I think like a creative. I am a creative. I know I'm a smart woman. I know you are too. But you feel almost obliged to not maximize that creative intelligence that you have inherently. And fail to give yourselves the chance to be valued professionally and financially. So, why is it that creative women don't earn their worth? Short answer, they don't think they're worth it. Long answer, it's really complicated, and it really is complicated. The reasons, the excuses, the dumbing down, the imposter syndrome that creative women carry around with them when it comes to their actual creativity and wealth. It's almost generationally accepted that in this industry you will not earn the money that you would in other industry. Now, you right-brained ladies, and welcome to the right-brained ladies community, yeah, you are different because you are not the slaves to the clock. You are not list makers. You are not great at enforcing goals and being strict and controlled with your time. Because when you start picking up your brush or creating that mosaic or knitting or crocheting or whatever creative activity it is that you do in your business, you get lost in the act of creation. And generally, the strategic things that need to go in business planning or alongside that to become an entrepreneur get put to the back shelf because they're not the things you like to do. I get that. I totally get that. But without it, I'm telling you now, you're not going to make any money. You have to learn how to become an entrepreneur if you are going to be a creative woman and have wealth in your business and in your life. It's a fact. I know it's not your natural state. That is why you don't do it. I understand that. I really get that. But you will improve your own performance and subsequently your business performance when you engage a mentor or work with somebody who can help you to become an entrepreneur. And that's a fact. What the problem is that it usually comes down to cold, hard cash. Creative women are not great at investing in themselves. All women are not great in investing in themselves because they struggle to see the benefit. And yet, when you invest in yourself, you will learn to become so much more. And oh my goodness, that creative brain of yours, once it starts to go into the left brain thinking and the strategic thinking and goal setting and taking action, it becomes such a powerful tool. So powerful that it actually makes other people feel uncomfortable. When you step into your creative power as a woman, as a creative woman, it makes other people feel uncomfortable because when they can see that you can create and think strategically, you become a powerful force in the universe. The reason that we don't do it, the reason that creative women do not do it, is because it's uncomfortable. There's an uncomfortable feeling around actually becoming a business person. That uncomfortable feeling in your gut, the one where you've got to step outside of your comfort zone. In fact, you've got to step a long way outside of your comfort zone if you are going to become a successful business owner. Because your creative talent and your area of genius and the operation of your business are two separate things. You can have zero creative talent, but great operation and strategy and have a really successful business. So I can paint that painting and people can say, wow, when it's finished, and they love it and everything. But if I don't know how to monetize that talent and have an operation within my business that generates wealth and money on a consistent basis, then I don't have a business. They're two separate things. That talent and the ability to be an entrepreneur, two separate things. And in order to utilize the talent in the business world, you have to learn to be an entrepreneur. And I know it sounds hard and complicated, and anything that sounds hard and complicated, we tend to avoid. So here is rule 101 as to why creative women really don't earn their worth. So first of all, your talent, your skill, your genius is unique to you. Nobody else has it. Somebody else could copy that, somebody else could paint something similar to that, but it wouldn't be the same as that because I did that and nobody else has my method of brushstroke or my method of painting or my method of thinking about what the image should look like, what's contained within it, the colour schemes that I'm going to use, the type of painting styles that I'm going to use. Nobody has that. Nobody has that in any creative area other than you. You own your unique talent and you are brilliant because of it. You are brilliant because of that unique talent. Nobody else can have it or own it. It belongs entirely to you. You have 100% copyright on your creative intelligence. Nobody can touch that. But that's not what's going to make you money. What's going to make you money is becoming an entrepreneur and understanding how, from that, you can create multiple income streams from that talent, from whatever it is that you do, how you can create multiple income streams. And that's about, first of all, knowing who your audience are, knowing exactly who it is that you want to serve, why they will buy from you, what emotional pain point and problem that you can solve for them, and how you're going to do it. Once you start out with knowing who it is you serve, so for instance, my mission is to serve creative women and teach them how to become really successful business owners so that they can make more money. And I do that in my signature program. And in that signature program, which is 12 months long, I take them by the hand. And first of all, I work on mindset, because mindset is 90% of everything. I work on mindset. Do you find that to be a hard sell for British women or women in general? It seems like being successful or creating wealth is sometimes looked down on here. I think it is, Gina. I think you're right there. That's a really, really good point. Thanks for putting that question in there. Yeah, I think, here's what I think. So you've asked it at the perfect time. Here's what I think. It's not difficult to sell to people if you sell to them a genuine, heart-centered, passion-centered product or service that is going to solve a problem for them big time. So I know that what I have worked on, which is my life's work, my signature program, although the price tag might seem high at £6,000, and that's how much my signature program is. I'm not ashamed to say that. I think it's worth every penny There's 30 years of knowledge and experience in there. Yeah, that's for a 12-month program. But in that 12-month program, I teach you how to become a business owner, create multiple income streams, build a business that can be leveraged, and make the most of your creative talent. Is it hard to sell that? I don't sell it. And therein lies the key. I'm here tonight and every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. sharing value with you guys so you can get to know me, so that you can make a decision as to whether you want to work with me. I don't go out and seek people. I allow them to come to me when they're ready. That's not difficult to do. Now, there's lots of different methods that I use. I do use Facebook ads. I go speaking at events. I think it's about showing up, being passionate about your product or service, and knowing that it can help and change lives, whether that's a piece of art, a piece of pottery. But it's about also, I am an artist, I am an author, but I am also going to teach other creative women how to build a successful business because I've built a successful business. There we start to look at multiple income streams and multiple ways of me monetizing my talent and taking it out to the general public and saying, this is what I offer. So is it a hard sell? Not really. Are my current clients British? Yes. I don't have any clients from anywhere else right now. That will change the more Facebook ads and the more worldwide web communication that I do. I think it's all relative. The second thing I'm going to say, see, I'm twizzing on my chair now, I'm going to annoy people. The second thing I'm going to say about creative women not earning their worth is that, do you know what the biggest barrier is for creative women? I've had this very debate in my group call this week, is pricing. Women tend to struggle to price their product or their service, that they are offering, particularly where they're exchanging value for money, even when they're exchanging product for money, because they don't think people will pay it. That's a big block and barrier for many creative women in many different areas. Okay, I quite happily a few minutes ago just shared the price of my signature program with you. Do I think it's worth it? Yes, because I know that what I've written and what I've done can help women to have a really successful business. It's worth it. It's an investment. It's not a cost, it's an investment. Now, it's really difficult for creative women to price their product or service. So here's a couple of things. I have been offered £1,000 for one of my paintings already. They're not for sale, not the originals, because I'm painting a body of work about women empowerment with a view that I will have an exhibition in a couple of years' time when I've finished all 15 pieces. So if I sell a key piece from that now, I won't have the full picture and evolution of that exhibition. That's a more long-term thing for me. And the longer it takes and the more successful I become as an entrepreneur and in my business and as an author, the more the price tag goes up. End of story. So £1,000 might not be enough for that painting. I wasn't prepared to part with it. And that's a decision I made because I value the time and effort and the design that I have put into the work that I am producing. And you're going to see a story on how I share this throughout the week, but whether that's £1 or whether that's £1,000, it's worth it because it's the price I choose to put on it. And a price is just that. It's a price. Women get way too, particularly us creative women, way too emotionally attached to things so that it's really difficult to put a price on the product or the service that you are offering. When in actual fact, it's just a price and people will pay it or they won't. And the ones that won't are not your people, and the ones that will are your people. And that's it. End of story. There's no emotion attached to that. So if I say I'm going to put a price tag of £3,000 on that completed painting, if people go, oh my God, that's too expensive, I'm not going to buy it, they're not my people. They're not the people that were meant to buy that painting. But somebody will come along at some point and go, I have to have that painting. I have to buy it. And it's holding your nerve and knowing that a price is just a price. Now, when I price something, so when I priced my signature program, I can only ever use me as an example. When I've priced my signature program at £6,000, I have priced that, okay, it's a 12-month program. It's a 12-month business coaching program that's creative focused. First of all, it helps you through mindset and self-confidence and limiting beliefs so that you are ready to go into business. Then I start right at the number one thing that you've got to do with business, which is creating your business story and your why, and then getting really, really niche and finding what your real niche is so you can get your marketing message right to speak to your ideal client and only to your ideal client, just like I'm speaking to you right now. And then branding, marketing, sales and lead generation, which does not have to be salesy. I'm not a salesy person. I don't like doing sales. So I'm not actually going to force you and teach you how to be that cold caller. That's never going to happen. And then I teach you how to leverage and how to become the CEO of your business so that you can take it into 6 and 7 figures. That's what I teach you in that program. And that is 30 years of knowledge, working as a senior leader in business, having my own business for 10 years and having a successful creative business. I've packaged that for you so you don't have to spend 30 years finding out all that information and doing all that learning. Is that worth £6,000 as an investment? Yes. So let's put that in perspective. If you were a plumber and you were starting out in your own plumbing business, you would have to purchase a van, all your equipment that you needed to do the plumbing. You would have to do advertising to find clients. All of the above. You'd need overalls, you'd need kit, you'd need safety equipment, you'd need certificates to say that you could actually do the plumbing legally and sign it off as safe. So if you're going to be a creative business owner, part of the investment is in somebody that can help you get there quicker, rather than you trying to continually do it on your own and hitting the brick wall that you potentially have been hitting. And once you start to reframe that cost as an investment into a business, it changes perspective. So that's then how I teach you how to think about your product or your service or whatever it is that creatively you offer to the world. Because once you start to see it differently and remove the emotional connection, you can start to be assertive in your pricing and value yourself enough to charge the right price for what you do. And that's really important because that's where many, many creative women, I'm not saying all because 25% do earn their worth. I'm not talking to the 25%. I'm talking to the 75% who are struggling in businesses that are just ticking by, that are just paying the bills and sometimes not quite paying the bills. Because any business can be transformed once you learn how to become an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I teach is not only pricing, but how to get your marketing just spot on. And that starts with the foundations of your business, about knowing your business story, why you go into business, why you do what you do, and niching down to your ideal client. So let me tell you a little story, and I've got this post coming up later on in the week, so it's a bit of a spoiler alert. Dan Whedon, the founder of an advertising agency, Whedon and Kennedy, recalled the words said by murderer Gary Gilmore prior to his execution, which were, "Let's do it." A simple tweak and the Nike slogan was born, "Just do it." Now, the idea was already in existence. It took a creative mind to make the connection. Yeah, how long did it take to do that? A matter of moments. Yet, long enough for a company like Nike to trust it for 30 years. And that's the power of creative thought. And that's the power that you have as a creative woman in everything that you do. Because you can capture things differently. You can think. Do you know what people struggle with the most in this world is to understand the creative process, the thought process, the thinking, the way that we come up with designs, the way that we see things, the way that we feel things, and the way we can communicate them in a different way. Some people would love to be able to do that because numbers are numbers and they are factual and they are easy and they are, 2 plus 2 equals 4. It doesn't matter who adds 2 plus 2. Yeah, it always comes to 4. However, you stand 100 creative in front of a tree and ask them to draw it or paint it and you get 100 different pictures. How wonderful is that? It's not the same. It's different. It's amazing. It's a unique talent and it deserves to be A, recognised, and B, turned into something that can actually create a wealthy, abundant lifestyle for the people who want to live doing what they truly love. But the only way to do it is to invest in yourself. Your creative thinking is priceless, absolutely priceless. That one thing, that one idea that you could come up with, that one thing that you can turn into something and monetize. You might write that perfect book that everybody wants to buy and sell billions throughout the world because you're a creative and you can think like that. You might create that one design that major companies want to copy and to buy the copyright to. You have a unique and priceless talent, but it's all about your marketing message. Genius, just do it. Nike, think about that. How much money do you think they've made from that one small tweak to an idea that was already out there, that was done by a creative mind? You can be that good. Believe me, every single one of us can be that good. It's about trusting your God-given talent, but learning how to be the entrepreneur that knows just when to make the tweak or make the turn. That's the power of creativity, and that's the power that you have as a creative. Sometimes, though, one of the things that stops you is your inner voice. And your inner voice as a creative can be your best friend and your worst enemy. It's almost like you've got the devil and an angel sitting on each shoulder, isn't it? The devil saying, you're not good enough. You can't, you're going out comparing your work. If I go and compare that painting to the great masters who painted, 100, 200, 300 years ago in oil paints, and it took them a year to produce one painting, and they had assistants cleaning up for them, and it was a massive, really important thing. And you go and I regularly go and have a look at the masters in art galleries, and they are awesome and amazing. And that doesn't compare, but no, it doesn't compare because it's different. It's done in a different medium. It's for a different reason. It's not supposed to compare. It's supposed to speak to a particular person that really, really gets the message. That's the uniqueness of my talent. And that is about me listening to my inner voice that says, whatever it is that you produce, Mandy, it's yours, it's unique. Nobody else has done it before. And forget the masters and forget all the other successful creatives out there and do what you truly believe in when you are an artist. I do the same with my writing. I don't care if people don't like what I write. It doesn't matter if there are spelling or grammar mistakes, as long as the story is out there. Now, on that note, I had a really good review today, another 5-star review. I've had loads of 5-star reviews for my book, The Life I Won. And I had another one today. But the importance of this review was that the lady who gave it said it had made an amazingly impactful difference to her life because it had helped her to think differently and feel more positive. That 5-star review is worth its weight in gold for me. I absolutely love that that's happened, but it doesn't pay the bills. So I've got to take that review and use that review to help sell more books, help more people, and make more passive income from that. So that's one of my many income streams. So talking about your inner voice as your creative. Sorry, I'm like Billy Connolly. I do go off story quite a bit when I'm talking. Apologies. So back to inner voice, devil and angel. So the devil's on your shoulder telling you you're not good enough. You're not good enough. Comparing yourself to others. Forget it. I want you to flick it off. Flick it off. Flick that devil off your shoulder, because your inner voice that tells you that you are unique and special and different is the one you need to listen to. And what happens is, other people have an impact on your inner voice. Now, I said before I've been offered £1,000 for one of my paintings. I've also been offered £100 for the same painting. And that's people's perspective. Now, if I was listening to people and not listening to my inner voice that says, oh, that's my light gone off. That tells me when my time's running out. Shut up, Mandy. There we go. It's back on. I don't listen to other people's perspective. It doesn't matter to me. I have learned to trust the inner voice that tells me that it's okay to produce what I produce. I also listen to that inner voice when I'm negotiating for things, because negotiation is just a creative process. Do you know that? Negotiating price, negotiating deals. I'm not a salesperson, but it's a creative process. If somebody comes to me and says, I'd like to work with you, what's your price? I say £6,000 for my signature programme. I charge £350 an hour. Or you can do my money mindset programme for $497, and I've got another 3 programmes coming on board soon at different price points. Or I'm going to have a retreat in a few months' time, that'll be £3,000. Or I'm going to be doing a workshop with a couple of my very close colleagues in a few weeks' time, and that's £197. So there's lots of different, but I'm fixed on those. There's no negotiation. If you want to work with me, that's how much it's going to cost. Because I know how much I can help you. My inner voice tells me to know what my skills and talents are, and I trust it, and I trust myself. I trust myself that I can help other people with what I do. And that's how you have to become. So we go back to the subject matter of creative women are poor. Let's stop that now. It starts and ends with your thinking. Your thinking and how you talk about yourself and to yourself, how you think about and talk about your pricing, how you think and talk about your talent. It's all thoughts. And I bet I'm going to put money on the fact that you talk yourself in and out of deals, in and out of your capabilities, in and out of your ability to earn wealth. I'm not worthy of charging that price. If I did this, I couldn't charge more than this. Oh my goodness, I'll sell my painting for £150 even though I've put 30 hours of work into it. What sort of rate of pay is that, guys? Your inner voice talks you down from the absolute genius that you have. And that's the biggest problem I find in creative women all of the time. All of the time. And that ultimately, I said, the simple answer is creative women don't think they're worth it. The complicated answer is it is complicated, because there are so many layers that stop creative women from charging what they are truly worth, because they don't know what they are truly worth, because they struggle with pricing. They struggle with being and thinking like an entrepreneur. They struggle with investing in themselves and seeing it as an investment rather than a cost. They struggle with so many things because they are more of a creative genius than a strategic business person. And again, this is not a sweeping statement. It does not apply to every single one of you. But let me ask you this. Are you a creative woman who is constantly trying to sell her work that she's producing and has tried lots of different methods, such as, let's say, workshops and charging next to nothing for doing them and standing there for half a day? Or you're making smaller items and selling them at a low price point and having to produce loads and loads of them, and it's very time consuming. And everything that you seem to be doing is about you putting in more and more time, more and more hours, and more creative products to create what it is that you're selling. If that's you, that's the 75%, because that's not what's going to bring you wealth. It's smart thinking that's going to bring you wealth, and thinking about your skills and how you monetize the skill as an entrepreneur, and not just the products that you produce and the teaching in small groups that you can do. There's so many different other ways to take your genius out to the world and to make money from it. Money that secures a really good income for you, a really good lifestyle for you, so that you feel comfortable, so that you've got predictable and consistent income coming in. And guess what happens when you've got predictable, consistent income coming into your business? It means that your creativity gets bigger and better. You have the time and the stress-free thinking to be able to go create, because you've developed a strategy that just works and creates consistency. So what's your goal? I'm going to ask you this now. Write it down. Get a pen and a piece of paper. What's your money goal? What would be a comfortable amount of money coming in, month out for you right now? Ask yourself this question. Is that 2,000? Is that 4,000? Is that 10,000? What's your number? Put a number on it, okay? How many of whatever it is you sell do you need to sell to make that number? And is it physically possible? So if you want to make £10,000 a month, yeah, and your product is £10 a month, can you produce enough to make £10,000 a month? And can you sell them in the method that you are currently doing it? Answer that question. What if, though, your target was £10,000 a month and you had a product at £10 a month? I have my book. And you had another product at £50 and another at £200 and another at £500 and another at £2,000. You just changed your business model. And some of those products sold automatically and brought residual or passive income in for you. You just changed your business model, and you just changed your wealth, and you just changed your income levels. You created yourself a more comfortable lifestyle and the ability to go and be more and more creative, come up with different products and different ideas that you can add to the universe, to society, and make a difference. That's how I help you to think as a creative woman. Because in order to be a creative genius who's earning her worth, you have to think strategically, differently, and use your creative intelligence to come up with a business model that works for you. So that was my message tonight. Creative women are poor. Let's stop that now. Let's stop it now. Let's step into your creative power and become an entrepreneur. And step one, if you want to speak to me, step one is I do a free 45-minute strategy call for creative women. If that's you, you need to get in contact with me. You know where to find me. You're watching me right now. You can book a call with me free. And there's no pressure to sell. I've just told you I don't like hard selling. On that call, we will have a look at your business model at where it is now and where the possibilities are for whatever it is you're selling. You can then go away with that free advice, that free information, and decide what you want to do with it. However, if you decide you want to work with somebody and invest in your business and invest in yourself, then the next step is to sign up for my signature program or to sign up to work with me one-to-one. But there's never any pressure for that. But unless you tell the world what you do, ladies, and this is really important, So I paint, I write, I help women to launch their business. As you tell the world what you do, and you tell them consistently week in, week out, and with every single post that you make, and then give people an opportunity to find you and go work with you, then nothing's going to change. You're going to stay that creative woman in the 75% who doesn't earn her worth. And if you want to become one of the 25%, then you have to do something differently. Now, you either work that out for yourself or you get help. That's it. So I just wanted to share that with you tonight, because I think it's really important when, for me, and I'll say this again and again, week in, week out, I think that women have the potential to change the world. I think that women have the potential to change the world because when they become wealthy and when they have the consistent wealth coming in, they do three things. They invest in society, back in society, and they invest in other women's businesses, sustaining and creating other wealthy women. They invest in their family and their loved ones, and they make sure that their family are secure and that their children are taught properly. And they reinvest in their business and create employment for other people. That's what wealthy women do. Wealthy women invest in society, invest in their families, create employment, invest in other women. It's self-perpetuating. Wealthy women are the solution to change in the Western world, because they're not going to sit there in the top 1% that makes all the wealth, not divvying it out. I mean, there are some great, really wealthy business entrepreneurs out there like Richard Branson, J.K. Rowling, who are philanthropists. I always struggle with that word, who give to charity and do a lot of really good things with their money. There really are many. But they're in that really small percentage of the top, the multi-billionaires. I'm talking about wealthy women earning 6 and 7 figures who reinvest in society in a really good, positive way. And those are the things that I think are going to change the world. That is why my niche is very specific. I work with creative women because I know that creative women have a skill gap in terms of becoming an entrepreneur. So I want you to go away tonight and think about a couple of things. That's your homework. Thanks for your comments. This is your homework. Write down what you want to earn. What's your ideal, perfect monthly amount of money that you want coming in? Look at what you currently produce. What is it that you make? What is it that you do? What is it that you sell? What creative product, service is it that you do? And what's the price of it? And how does that stack up? So if you are producing greetings cards at $3.75 per card and you want to make 10 grand a month, you've got to make a lot of them, lady. You have. Yeah. If you've got a signature program that's £1,000, you've got to sell 10 a month. Then you've got to work out how you're going to sell 10 a month and what your marketing message is. That's your homework. Go away and crunch the numbers. You know that thing you don't like to do? Crunch the numbers. I want to earn how much? I sell these products at these prices. Where's the gap? How do I find the knowledge to fill that gap? I want you to be a wealthy, creative woman. I want you to be. I want every creative woman to be wealthy. So, you know where to find me if you need me. And I'm going to wish you all the very best. And work out your numbers and come and let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to get some messages. I'm going to say good evening for now. And hopefully there will be progress on the painting when I pop up next week. Have a fantastic week. I've loved that you've joined me tonight.